First, if you need guest assistance of a medical emergency, or if your job's having a value off the side of the tram, or have any sound or video issues, reach out and grab the red cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as safe to do so. Looks like this. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Remember to use the red cord above your head if you need any assistance. The studio's private property. If any time during the tour you drop your phone or can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour. And be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, sudden trip movements, fire effects, and many water effects. And every camera's off great photo opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety and those around you, please don't use selfie sticks while on board the tram. All right. So, we are traveling down our timeline. If you look on either side of you, you're going to see movie posters. They represent just a handful of the over 8,000 movies we've made over the years. We might even get a new one soon for The Green Book, win our 10th Academy Award for Best Picture for that movie this year. Now, it all started all the way back March 15th, 1915. Our founder, Carl Laemmle, he had this insane idea to create an entire city dedicated to filmmaking. There he is, Mr. Carl Laemmle, and that's exactly what he did. We are Universal City. We have our own zip code. We have a fire station. We just drove by on your right-hand side, Fire Station 51. We have a sheriff's station. We have a hospital. What we have in our city that you might not have in yours is the ability to make some of your favorite movies and television shows. And I'm going to let you in on a few tricks of the trade. The first is the use of sound stages. This is where the majority of filming takes place. And the first soundstage I'm going to point out to you is coming up here on your left-hand side, Soundstage 12. It's home to the hit NBC singing competition, The Voice. It says I have a little bit of pool here at Universal Studios. Here's Carson Daly to tell you more.
Hi everybody, I'm Carson Daly from NBC's The Voice. I want to welcome you to the Universal Front Lot. Our show is filmed on stage 12. It happens to be the largest soundstage on the Universal lot. Take a look.
That's right, it's the largest soundstage on our line. They're largest in the entire world. Here are a few other productions that have filmed inside the Soundstage 12. So as I said, the majority of filming takes place inside of these sound stages. That means sometimes we have to recreate the outdoors indoors. So on your screens, well, it's like an awesome outdoor pool party was entirely created right there inside of Soundstage 12. So this is what all of our sound stages look like when you first start off. They're basically giant warehouses. The walls are 4 times thicker than the walls of a normal building, which makes them 98% soundproof. That 2% can still ruin production, so I'm constantly looking for signs of active filming, specifically those red lights on the sides of the sound stages. Those are called wigwag lights. When they're blinking and flashing, or if they're glowing bright red, that means that they're filming inside. That's one of my cues to be quiet. So car 1, sit backwards. If you see a light before me, let me know. Now we build them empty like this so that filmmakers can create anything they need to inside of them. Right now inside the sound stages 16 and 17 are the sets for the television show Superstore. The many productions have filmed inside of our sound stages throughout the years. Here are a few examples.
I know it's hot in here, but let's have some patience for one another.
Yeah, you know, the heat makes us all act.
If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get punched.
Whose name is worth more in Scrabble tiles? Uzo Aduba or David Oyelowo? Uzo Aduba.
Right now we're driving by Soundstage 21 on your left-hand side. This is also used for the show Superstore. But it's back in the 70s, Steven Spielberg tested out a shark for the movie Jaws inside of this soundstage. And it was where they built the mission control room for the movie Apollo 13.
Realism was an essential element for Apollo 13. After all, we were recreating an important moment in American history, a moment many Americans witnessed on television. We thought about filming in Houston, Texas, where the original control room for the Apollo missions still exists. Unfortunately, NASA's engineers didn't have filmmaking in mind when they built Mission Control. Since there was no room for the elaborate camera frames and tracks we needed for the shots, we had to build our own mission.
driving by an area that we call Sitcom Row. Your favorite sitcoms are filmed inside of these sound stages, like The Jeffersons, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Martin. The new productions are constantly filming here, like The Good Place, starring Ted Danson and Kristen Bell, Good Girls, starring Mae Whitman, Christine Hendricks, and Retta, and Hollywood Game Night with host Jane Lynch. Now, speaking of game shows, on your left, you'll see the Family Feud sign. That game show films here. The white tent is what we call audience holding. That's where audience members wait and relax before they walk into the soundstage to film. And next door to audience holding is your first celebrity sighting of the day, Ted. Do a little day drinking.
Oh, whoa.
You know,
It's Ted.
he's on spring
It's a
break,
bear.
right? Don't judge him. Ted's in front of our bungalows. These are offices to some of the top writers, directors, and production companies in the biz. But before these were offices, they were dressing rooms to huge stars like Lucille Ball, Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, Jimmy Stewart. It was the golden age of Hollywood, the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Actors were contracted to work with one studio at a time. Those contracts will last for years, like 7 to 10 years. So when they're with us, we want them to feel like they had a home away from home. That's exactly what these bungalows did. Now, they still see some pretty big names. And if you look at the parking spots, you might recognize a few of them, like Jennifer Lopez, Miss Jenny from the Block. She has a bungalow here because she produces the show World of Dance, which airs on NBC. Mark Platty has a bungalow here. He produced La La Land and Wicked. And in a moment, we're going to pass by bungalow 5195. It's currently home to the De Laurentiis Company. They tell us the story of Dr. Hannibal Lecter to the big and small screens. But before then, it was Alfred Hitchcock's office, back when he filmed Alfred Hitchcock Presents here on the lot. As you drive by, you'll see a silhouette on the wall in tribute. The next two sound stages on your left are brand new and high-tech. That's why they look a little different than the previous ones. Inside of there, they film one of my favorite shows of all time, Will and Grace. You have any Will and Grace fans on the tram? Anybody? Yes? 1, 2, 3 hands. All right. The rest of y'all have homework. Get on it. It's hilarious. The first production ever filmed here is Hairspray Live. What was cool about that setup is
I
they
don't
would
know
film
what
all of their
state.
interior scenes inside of these sound stages. Then when they needed to dance around the city streets of Baltimore, they just crossed the border from the front lot to the back lot, which is what we're about to do. The back lot is where we have all of our large exterior sets. The area we're going to drive by, these are metropolitan sets. They've been used time and time again in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, American Ninja Warrior, Captain America the First Avenger, Transformers, Spade the Furious, and now this is where they're filming that Geico commercial. Steven Spielberg was the head consultant when it came to designing our metro sets. When he worked with another director named Peter Jackson, he created a different area of our back lot, Skull Islands.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life. Sweep you up the edge. Kong literally does the stuff. You're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. That's great, and we were on the ride. Now you have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have to make it last.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated at all times. Hold on to your belongings as well as your loved ones. Welcome to Skull Island.
Where's we going?
Hold on to those 3D glasses, everybody, and feel that you might need them later on in the tour. So that epic battle was portrayed on some of the largest digital 3D screens in the entire world. They stand at 40 feet tall, 180 feet long. They use 16 movie projectors and some of the world's most advanced filmmaking technology today. That was brought to you by Peter Jackson, plus the filmmakers at What Digital. So they're a team out of New Zealand, and they know what they're doing when it comes to special effects. They won 5 Academy Awards for their work in film, but it started off with television shows like Hercules and the Warrior Princess. Then they moved to the big screen with movies like Avatar, Lord of the Rings trilogy, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman, and the list goes on.
Oh, he ain't coming up yet.
The audience is in the
Later on, you'll see him over here on your right hand side. He's not over here yet.
Creatures coming at them. They're seeing coming from this side and T-Rexes from the other side. Working on a movie, we always know that people are looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shot that they're working on. Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this, a lot of movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a lot.
So this is a great example of how filmmakers can create an entire world using only CGI, computer-generated imagery. But usually what they'll do is combine CGI with something physical, like a picture car. A picture car is any vehicle you see on screen, whether it's television, film, or streaming online. And we're taking to see some of Universal's finest. So pull out those cameras, pull out those phones. We have some cool cars coming up on your left-hand side.
Huh? A little bit.
Popular picture car right now is probably the gyrosphere. That was used in Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. But as you drove by, you might have noticed something was missing. The glass ball, right? That's because the glass ball never existed. You see, glass is tricky to film with. If it's not angled perfectly, everything in the background is reflected off of it, shows up on camera. So instead of trying to figure out how to angle a glass ball, they said, forget it. We'll use CGI to create the final product. And that's what you saw in theaters. Told you I was going to run movie magic for you. But we'll move on from Fast and Furious cars here. We'll head over to see some ferocious animals.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
On either side of you are set decorations and picture cars. They're used in Jurassic Park and the Lost World Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg. Coming up here on your left-hand side, you'll see the mobile lab that was used in the Lost World Jurassic Park. This picture car is made out of wood. You can actually see it chipping once we get to the back. And on your right, we have our dinosaurs. Where are the dinosaurs? Supposed to be those cake. Okay, it's fine. I'll just put your theme music. Yes, sometimes they like to make an entrance. You know, they're sort of divas in that way, but there's not much you can do about it. Not really seeing though. Little strange, little weird. Maybe they've taken a lunch or something. Sorry about that, folks. There's the big one though. You need to be there. Yeah. How about this? Instead of introducing you to our other dinosaurs, how about I show you a scene that used to go lobby past, and then I can explain to you how it was done. So first off, this is not a cliff in Costa Rica. This is a parking structure we passed by during the beginning of the tour. It's called the Carl Laemmle Building. In order to make it look like a cliff, they added a little bit of fake greenery. They used CGI. And then during filming, they took a crane, picked up that mobile lab and dangled it over the side of the building. Now the cherry on top is that they made it rain. Just about every time the dinosaurs attacked, it rained. And that was done on purpose. It's because weather affects us emotionally, so they use the lab. But weather's also something you have to control when you're filming. So we brought you into Old Mexico so we can show you how to create a little Hollywood storm. Like most storms, starts off with a little bit of lightning, a little bit of thunder. We let that go on for a bit, and then at the perfect moment, we make it rain. This is how we make it rain in the movies, folks. We use a highly sophisticated and intricate system called a sprinkler. That's it. Yeah, we just shoot the water up, allow it to fall down to the ground naturally. You might notice the rain is only falling in specific places. We only need it to fall where the actor would be standing, where the camera would be facing. The rest of it, we don't care. And if you're really observant, you might notice that the raindrops are larger than you're used to seeing in nature. If you take a picture of real rain, you're barely going to see it. Think of the football or the baseball games that were in the rain, right? So that's a one for us. We enjoy to look at it. To make it tough. Oh, jeez. Can we cut that off? Is that real? That was our flood. And it's over now. Sorry, I haven't seen it that in it. It's just thousands of gallons of water held in tanks at the top of the hill. All we do is open up the floodgates, the water runs down, it splashes up in your face, goes right back up again. The same flood was featured in the movie Big Fat Liar, starring Paul Giamatti, Amanda Bynes, and Frankie Muniz.
You cannot run a wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
Well, this is like a west.
Just like that, we've crossed the border from Old Mexico to the Wild, Wild West. This also means that our tour is now approximately at the halfway mark, so I do have to remind everybody to remain seated at all times. The studio is private property, so if you drop your phone or need to use the restroom, pull the red emergency cord and I'll come back to assist you. Welcome to 6 Points, Texas, y'all. This is where a lot of classic westerns have filmed, like The Virginian and Destiny Rides Again. Your favorite cowboys have worked here, like John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, Jimmy Stewart, and Jimmy Fallon.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
But who is the bad guy? The white one or the black one? Yeah, who's the bad guy? The white one or the black one?
Huh?
Which one is the bad guy? The white one or the black one?
The white one is the good one. Black one is the bad one.
I was right. You said the white one was the bad one.
I didn't say that.
Hmm?
I didn't say that.
That's where
Not Zigio.
Oh, Zeke.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican.
Yeah, I said the white one's the good one. The black one's the bad one.
Lucky shot.
I want to see you mount up and get out of town while we're getting good.
All right. I'll see you again.
All right, folks, we're about to leave Texas behind, and we're going to enter that quiet zone I was talking about. When you look across the lake, you might be able to see active filming. Also, don't forget to look at your screens. I'll show you clips that give you examples of other productions that filmed in the area that we're driving by.
the one with the thing. I'm gonna drop down. So look on this side.
Sorry?
Look on this side. It's everywhere, but it's gonna be easy to see. Huh? Yeah, it's telling me hold on to this. So stop filming on this side.
Alright everybody, we just entered Soundstage 50. Remind you all to stay seated at all times, especially while we're inside of here. This is what we call a hot set. That means it's dressed and ready to be filmed on. We don't want to create any continuity errors. Now, I've been told a television show has been filming in here using the mechanical effect that is... That's not good.
Hold on to that there.
Okay, folks, you see that's somehow triggered the mechanical effect that's built into the walls of this soundstage. Okay, command center. Command center, turn off the mechanical effect here inside of soundstage 50. Hello? They're not responding. We're gonna have to write this thing out again. Everyone, please stay seated. Everybody calm. And don't let me freak out. Everyone just hold it together. Oh no, not the train. Everyone on the train. Somebody stop the train. It's over. Oh, not the water, please. You guys okay? Everyone's good? Y'all alright? Yeah? Sean, you good? He's good. Okay. Put myself together here. Congratulations, folks. She survived earthquake, the big one. Yay!
Got it?
Yeah. That's what we call a mechanical effect. It was an 8.3 earthquake on the Richter scale and featured on the Fox show Bones, starring Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz.
No.
Look, that's it right there. See it? Look, there.
Yeah.
See, folks, it's like your television stars, right? But I'm actually ready to move on. That's a little traumatic for me. I want to go someplace to calm my nerves. Now, usually, when I eat little me time, head over to Amby Island. It's a beachfront property we have here. It's really nice and peaceful. Just a great place to relax, you know, maybe get some fishing. Okay, full disclosure, we did have a shark fish here. But, as you can see, I caught him, I strung him up, and I left him up there as a reminder to all those little shark friends not to mess with us. When you go biting people, you tip. What's that right looking for? Oh, come on. George? Hey, George. George? George, swim away. There's another shark. Seriously, George, you gotta swim away. I mean, do you? But if it was me, I'd be so, George. Well, life choices, man. All right, everybody, please stay seated. We're not gonna be like George. We're gonna keep it moving. What? Clear the area. You have to tell us twice. Although, Sean, how about we stop behind these tanks of flammable gasoline? To our shark Bruce. He's named after Steven Spielberg's shark Bruce, who he named after his attorney, Bruce. And it was taken one step further. If you're a fan of the movie Finding Nemo, you might remember that the shark was named Bruce. Fish and friends, not food, but also paid tribute to the movie Jaws. So our shark works wonderfully. Steven Spielberg's, not so much. I told you we tested it out inside of Soundstage 21. There's a pit built to the floor of that soundstage. They filled it up with fresh water. They put the shark inside. Everything's perfect. Then on the first day of filming, they took it out to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and it sunk to the bottom. That's because the ocean isn't made out of fresh water. It's made out of salt water. You have to factor that in if you're going to build a mechanical shark.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on an island, here, they were always seeing trying to keep our information.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. The shark worked well enough for a while there and things are good. So I really owe the shark a lot.
There are so many problems with that mechanical shark. They had to push back the movie's release date over 100 days. So instead of being released the winter of '74, Jaws released the summer of '75. And Steven Spielberg thought that was the end of his career, but it actually made it. So many people had heard about the issues on set that when Jaws was released, the line went around the block, making it the very first summer blockbuster ever. So in a moment, we're going to pass by one of the most popular streets in television history. We call it Colonial Street. However, you might recognize it as Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives. And it's coming up here on your left-hand side. This is where they're prepping to film a KFC commercial. Now, Colonial Street has been seen in many different movies and television shows, even music videos throughout the years. In fact, they've been filming a new show there called Abby's. It premiered March 28th and it stars Natalie Morales. It airs on NBC, so make sure you check it out. Here are a few more productions that have filmed on Colonial Street. Like to use Colonial Street because it looks like any suburban neighborhood in America. That comes in very handy for filming. But we also have areas in the back lot that come in handy that you probably wouldn't expect. Like the trees we're driving by right now. Believe it or not, this area was used in the Netflix hit Bird Box. But we're going to leave this creepy wooded area behind and we're going to head to a section that's full of magic. This is my favorite area of the back lot. Whoville.
Mr. Grinch.
Coming up on your right are three of the houses from How the Grinch Stole Christmas, directed by Ron Howard.
You're a bad banana with a greasy black
It took 2 million linear feet of styrofoam, 9 football fields worth of fake snow, and 1,938 candy canes to create the set of Whoville. So the citizens of Whoville, they're industrious people. They're just really poor decision makers. First they moved in next door to the Grinch, and now a psycho. They decided to move next door to the Bates Motel and Psycho House from Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Psycho. Who does that?
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Oh, jeez. All right, folks, please get your pictures, but then we're gonna go. Looks like Norman Bates is home, and he's a little crazy. New plan: stay as quiet as possible, and hopefully he won't notice us. That didn't work. Hey, Norman, how you doing, buddy? You good? Seriously? Come on, man, straight to the knife. We can't have a conversation about this. We can't have a dialogue. Norman, where you going, buddy? Don't do it. Norman, you're better than this. Don't do it now, all right? I need you to relax. Take deep breaths. Sorry, folks. Just ignore him. He's dealing with mother issues.
So that what he was doing, that person, the car.
And as we head up the psychopath and drive by Mother's house, look up in the window. You might see her rocking away.
Dad, what he was doing to that woman? Huh? What he was doing to that woman? Dad? Dad? What he was doing to that woman? What he was doing to that woman?
He killed her.
We've just entered one of the largest sets ever created in Hollywood history. The crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. And in just a moment, Sean will stop the tram and you'll have a quick opportunity to stand up and take a few pictures. I'll let you know when. Okay, you can stand.
I'm recording, Mom, not taking pictures.
Of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
We forget to sit down and talk about the War of the World. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, now listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Got them closed?
All right, we're going to start moving momentarily, so everyone please take your seats. Thank you.
Robbie, get in.
That's a real 747 Boeing airplane that was bought and destroyed just for this set. It cost them $60,000 to buy it, but over $200,000 to get it here. That's because it was way too large to bring in one piece. So they had to rip the roof off of it, chop it up into 4 pieces, put each piece on a flatbed truck and then drive it all here at the set. Now we were about 10 minutes away from our tour being over. Sad face, I know. So for the very last time, I must remind everybody to please stay seated unless I tell you it's safe to stand. If you need my assistance, pull the red emergency cord and I'll come back to assist you. The last set of the tour is on your right. It's called Falls Lake. It was used in the movie Sully.
Evacuate.
So if you look over on your right, you're going to see a big blue wall. That's one of the largest freestanding backdrops in the entire world. And in front of it, there's a reservoir. So they filled the reservoir up with water, they put an airplane inside, and then they filmed this scene. Then during post-production, after all the filming is over, when they're editing everything together, they digitally added a photo of the New York skyline to the big blue wall. Once you combine it all together, there you have it, Sully. Falls Lake was also used in the movie Dunkirk. They filmed a lot of their ocean scenes over here. Beyonce's music video for Formation, when the police car sank into the water. And for my 90s kids, TLC filmed their music video for Waterfalls, right against that backdrop. But it all first created in 1987. Hey folks, we're gonna make a slight detour here, not a big deal. Everything's cool. It's just that Sean and I, well, we went to Vegas this weekend. Yeah, had a lot of fun. We just saw some things we probably shouldn't. Now some guy named Shaw's after us. The FBI wants us for questioning. But you get it, you know? What are you gonna do? Luckily, everybody knows today. He and his crew would help us out. Just need to meet them here inside of Sullivan's. We'll smooth things over and then we can get you right back to the theme park, okay? Thank you so much for your patience.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you from Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
Alright, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next mag. We'll meet you in there.
Sounds like a plan, Lenny. All right, everybody, make sure you stay seated. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Although it sounds like we're crashing a party, so let's try to blend in.
Hold on to the iPad.
Huh?
Hold on to it. Make sure.
Everybody out! It's the FBI! Turn that music off!
This is what we're doing. This is the race day after party. And what the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. And that's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. Got it. It's like that. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Never mind's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Escort this scoundrels out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of this.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're out.
Hold on. It's gonna be everywhere.
Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Okay, so this might take a little longer than I thought. Everything is still under control. However, you might want to put on those 3D glasses. See, they double as protective eye gear. It's just a precaution, but you know, better safe than sorry, right?
Ready?
This just got real. Folks, this is no longer a precaution. This is now mandatory. Put on your 3D glasses and stay as quiet as possible.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime.
I got the bull by the horn! I've got company!
Witness is mine, Letty!
How about you eat asphalt?
Don't think I'm getting away!
Way to go, Letty.
Drone's lining up the missile shot!
Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got you.
Roman, don't shoot! Head from the bridge! Under subtraction! Everybody hold on!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Supercharged. Is that Fast and Furious Ride Months?
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
Listen, you can film this.